Manchester United's new forward. Sancho will join Borussia again. Isak staged a boycott at Newcastle, and the club has already decided on his replacement. All of this and more in today's episode. Borussia Dortmund is once again considering the possibility of Jadon Sancho's return. Internal discussions are already underway, and more voices within the club are leaning towards the idea that the player's third stint could be successful. Manchester United, for their part, are open to selling, valuing the winger at approximately 18 to 20 million euros, an accessible sum even for German giants. Sancho himself is also open to the move, as after his loan spell at Chelsea, where he won the Conference League, he still hasn't entered Ruben Amorim's plans. The player is in the bomb squad and is looking for an opportunity to restart his career. The main obstacle is his high salary, but Dortmund believes Sancho still has plenty left in the tank. It was at Borussia that he had his best years, 53 goals and 67 assists in 158 matches. If an agreement is reached, this would be a rare occurrence in modern football, a third return to the same club. Thomas Müller is joining Vancouver Whitecaps, concluding a magnificent era at Bayern Munich and opening a new chapter in MLS. The contract with the Canadian club is for 2 years, the amount of time the legendary German plans to spend in North America, not ending his career, but rather embracing a new challenge. Müller is joining a team currently second in the Western Conference, having reached the CONCACAF Champions Cup final and holding ambitions for titles, and now with one of the most distinguished players in German history in their squad. And again about Alexander Isak. It seems that every transfer update now features his name, and this time, it's serious. The Newcastle striker has made a decisive move, agreeing to a 5-year contract with Liverpool, according to Sky Sports Switzerland. The player has approved personal terms, and now it's up to the clubs. The Magpies coach responded sharply when asked about the transfer. No chance. However, Liverpool is preparing an official offer. The value Isak has set for Newcastle reaches 175 million euros, but the Reds hope to reduce the price to 140 million euros. Meanwhile, the Swede himself is determined to change clubs, and according to TBR Football, Isak is demanding £300,000 per week in a new contract with Newcastle, and is already boycotting training, working at home on an individual program. This is the Reds' third top transfer this summer, after the signings of Hugo Ekitike and Florian Wirtz. Total expenditures are approaching 300 million euros, and it seems Liverpool is not planning to stop. Manchester United is narrowing its focus with only 2 forwards in their sights. After a disastrous season where the team scored only 44 goals in the Premier League, Manchester United has definitively identified its 2 main candidates for the centre-forward position, Ollie Watkins and Benjamin Šeško. Watkins is an experienced Englishman who will turn 30 in December. He has 75 goals and 34 assists in 5 Premier League seasons, and his recent campaigns have been the best of his career. United sees him as a budget option at 40 to 45 million pounds, who can immediately fit into Ruben Amorim's system, where 2 10s support a central striker. Šeško is the opposite type, a 22-year-old Slovenian, the most prolific forward under 23 in Europe's top 5 leagues. In the last 2 seasons, 27 goals, despite playing for a less strong team. His transfer is estimated at 69 to 78 million pounds, and United has already held talks with his agents, although Newcastle is also in contention. The choice is difficult. Watkins, ready now, adapted to the Premier League, stable. Šeško, an investment in the future, with the potential to become a top star. And all this against the backdrop of the club already spending over 130 million pounds on Mbeumo and Cunha, with the sales of Sancho, Garnacho and Antony still not finalized. Who would you like to see in United's attack? Write in the comments, experience or potential. If Manchester United does manage to outbid Newcastle for Benjamin Šeško, then at St James's Park they will switch to another target, Nicholas Jackson. Initial contact with Chelsea has already been made, but the London club wants £80 million, a price that seems inflated given the striker's inconsistent form. Newcastle values the player closer to £65 million. Jackson has an explosive style, speed and a sense of timing. On his best days, he can turn a game around, but at the same time, he often disappears in matches against compact defenses, and his finishing leaves room for criticism. Eddie Howe sees him as an option that could work immediately, especially if alternatives become fewer. After the arrivals of Delap and Pedro, competition in Chelsea's attack has increased, so Jackson himself might consider a move as a chance to stay in the Premier League and in a team with high ambitions. Official, James Trafford returns to Manchester City. The 22-year-old English goalkeeper will once again be part of the Citizens. The club confirmed his transfer from Burnley for £31 million plus bonuses, setting a new record for a British goalkeeper. The contract is for 5 years with an option to extend for another season, and Trafford himself has called his return to City a moment of pride for himself and his family. James moved to Burnley in 2023, spent 2 brilliant seasons, setting a championship record for clean sheets and conceding only 16 goals in a season. His return was made possible by a priority buyback clause that City included in the previous agreement. In the new season, he is expected to compete with Ederson, who is actively linked with a move to Saudi Arabia and Galatasaray. Stefan Ortega, meanwhile, is likely to leave the club soon. Bundesliga clubs have shown interest in him. Pep Guardiola has confirmed, after his contract with Manchester City expires in summer 2027, he will take a long break from his coaching career. In an interview with GQ España, Pep admitted that he feels physically and emotionally exhausted. "I know that after the stage in Manchester City, I will have a break. How long? I don't know. 1 year, 2, 3, 5, 10, 15. But I am really going to take a break after leaving Manchester City." Ronaldo said he feels 28. "My biological age is 75 years old. I am absolutely broken. Everything hurts. Maybe if I take a test, it will turn out that I am younger. I hope that with time I will feel better than now. That's why I need such places to recover," Guardiola stated. Honestly, it's very noticeable in City's results that Pep is tired right now. Maybe he shouldn't have extended his contract last year. Guys, now a question for true football connoisseurs. Who has played the most matches under Guardiola's management? Write your answer in the comments. Test your football knowledge. Enzo Millot is on the verge of moving to Atlético Madrid. The 23-year-old French midfielder has said yes to the Rojiblancos project and has already agreed personal terms on a contract until 2030. All that remains is to finalize details with Stuttgart, who have opened the door for negotiations. Interestingly, there's a release clause of 20 to 23 million euros that is active until the end of July. Atlético wants to close the deal before it increases and is even considering overpaying to adjust the payment schedule. Last season, Millot played 43 matches, scored 12 goals, and provided 8 assists, becoming a leader for Stuttgart in the Champions League and the DFB Pokal final. Official, Granit Xhaka is a Sunderland player. After several weeks of negotiations, Sunderland and Bayer Leverkusen have reached a full agreement on the transfer of the 32-year-old Swiss. The deal is worth 20 million euros and the contract runs until 2028. Xhaka has already received the green light for his medical and will be officially presented as the club's 7th summer signing in the near future. This is a transfer that can be called historic for Sunderland. A club that has just returned to the Premier League gains a player with Champions League experience, a Bundesliga winner, and a former Arsenal captain. Xhaka will join a new midfield, which already includes Habib Diarra, Noah Sadiki, and captain Dan Neil, and will become its leader. This is not just a reinforcement, it's a statement that Sunderland didn't come to the Premier League just to survive, they came to fight. Barcelona is ready to review its sponsorship deal with Spotify as it believes that 60 million euros per season no longer reflects the value of a jersey that has become a global magnet thanks to stars like Lamine Yamal, Aitana Bonmati, and Alexia Putellas. The agreement, concluded in 2022, provides for annual payments for title placement on the kit and 5 million euros for stadium naming rights. But Barca is convinced the brand's potential is significantly greater, and if Spotify doesn't compromise, the club is ready to look for new partners, as the recent 127 million euro annual contract with Nike is a clear indicator of how much the Barcelona Pulse is worth. Negotiations are on the horizon, and whispers suggest a major re-evaluation of the rules of the game may be ahead. That's it for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Keep watching for more football action and have a wonderful day.